What's up guys? Today I've got a mini haul for you. There's 6 items in front of me from Sephora. You know Sephora, 6 items, $250. I wasn't going to do like a haul type video on this, but I wanted to sit down and play with the makeup in front of the camera, kind of like a first impressions haul video. So my boyfriend randomly was like, we're gonna go to Sephora on Monday, and I was like, okay, but why? And he just wanted to buy me some makeup. Usually I say no, but this time he was pretty insistent. One of the first items I have here is the BECCA Backlight primer. This is what the packaging looks like. It's got that frosted glass that's really nice, and then just the top, and then the classic BECCA. So I don't have the purple one to compare, but the consistency is looking pretty similar. I already can tell that this one is definitely a lot more glowy. I'm hoping I don't shine like a glitter ball. Ooh, should we do like one side and then compare, and then I'll do the other side because I do have to leave my house today. Let's take this off. Now it's like half a pump on this side of my face. Well, I have sunscreen on, so I'm looking pretty glowy regardless. Ooh, no, I definitely have a little bit more shine on this side. Nothing shimmery or glittery, just a really nice shine. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's do the other half of my face. I wasn't even going to pick this up until we were walking to the checkout line, and then I remembered that I wanted to try this a couple of times before, but I never bought it. And so I randomly turned over and was like, do you want to buy me a primer? And he was like, I don't care. So I ran and I picked up this primer. It feels really good on the skin. It feels really smooth. It doesn't feel like silicone type of primer, but it does feel pretty smooth. It feels almost like a moisturizer. It is a tad bit tacky, which as a primer should be good because it should hold down that foundation. I do look pretty dewy. I do feel the tackiness is going away, so that's good if you don't like tacky feelings. Sometimes, you know, no one really wants to feel tacky, especially since I bought this in the springtime, you know, humidity, not trying to be tacky. Although this primer is totally a glowing primer, the kind that makes you glow and shine beautifully, it does say that it's good for normal, oily, combination dry, and sensitive skin. So basically anyone should be able to wear this. I have combination skin and usually get oily in the T-zone, and then I have drier jaw lines. So this is a solution for dullness. Definitely see that my face looks pretty shiny. To be honest with you, if I wasn't wearing any makeup, I probably wouldn't mind going out like this because I feel like almost like the glass skin effect or whatever that people rave over. So I picked up the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, and I picked it up in Fiji, which I have no idea if it's going to work for me. I also did get a sample of the shade Vienna just in case. Vienna's 4.5, Fiji is 5. And this is what the packaging looks like. The typical NARS bottle with a semi-matte cap and a pump, of course. And the foundation does claim to work with all skin types, combination oily and dry skin, so that's pretty exciting. I'm gonna go wet my beauty sponge and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back with a wet makeup sponge from Flower Beauty, and I'm going to do half with the sponge and half with the brush just so I can give you the first impressions of both sides. Let's see here. I'll pump some out on my hand. Shake well. I almost didn't see that. Oh, I'm going to guess 2 more pumps. I was wrong. 2 more. 3 more. Did I win? So there's 1 pump and 2 pumps. These pumps look pretty small in general in comparison, I meant, to other pumps. I hope the shade works. If not, I'm gonna start all over and come back in with that shade Vienna. So I'm just gonna dot this all over. So I was staring at the foundations in Sephora trying to pick the right shade, and my boyfriend caught up to me in Sephora, and I was like, what shade? Oh, I just bit my lip. I was like, what shade do you think I am? And he looks at it and goes, these are all the same color. No. This actually looks like it's matching pretty well Maybe 4.5 Vienna would have worked a little bit better if, just because it might be a little lighter, but this does look pretty nice. The way it blends out was nice. It didn't have any issues blending. That looks nice. I still see a peak of like my redness showing on my cheek, but that's fine. Maybe I'll go in with a little bit more. I definitely do need to go in with a little bit more on this side just because I had more on the right side. And it's supposed to be buildable, so we'll test that, I guess, since I'm going to be building on this side, it looks like. So here I'm just taking my Morphe blending sponge in G2, and I already think I like this best with a sponge. I feel like I just soaked up all the products. I feel like I don't have as nice of a coverage as I do on this side, and I feel like the finish of it is way different. Like this feels a little bit more airbrushed finish, and this looks a little bit more, it looks a little heavier on the skin, just a little. But that's weird because I feel like all the product was soaked up, so how could it be heavy? I have to say though, it's not streaky with the brush, but that could also be this brush. This brush generally doesn't give me any streaking issue. Definitely liking this side a lot better. Just my first impression of it. It's sitting pretty well and it builds pretty well. That generally just covered up the redness right there, and then the finish of this is really nice. I might try the Vienna sample tomorrow. I want to see if the shade would work better. It's a pretty satisfying pop. Oh no, that does look pretty. It might look a little dark. That might look a little dark. Yeah, I might want to try out some Vienna. And the next product I have here is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes eyeshadow palette. It's got super cute packaging. This is what it looks like on the inside. I love the way a new palette looks. It just looks so clean and nice. Every time we walk by a Too Faced like Tarte, he always says like, oh, this is your brand because you're so two-faced, because he's annoying. Oh, the next product was this Urban Decay Distortion eyeshadow palette. I got pretty excited for this palette because, to be honest, I saw these shades up here and they remind me of the Kat Von D Alchemy palette, where it like looks almost white and then you swatch it and it's like this iridescent purple. It's just so pretty. So I got super excited because it's basically like the Alchemy palette with other freaking shades. I also love that you have like your bolder colors here, and then you have like some more neutral wearable colors here. It is a mixture between shimmer and matte, but I think the only real matte one are only these two right down here, and the rest of them are like that shimmeriness, but I do not mind that. Like, these just look so beautiful and I'm so excited to wear them. Also the mirror in both this and this are humongous, and I always use the Tartelette palette because of the big mirror, but now actually I'm still going to use the Tartelette palette. It's lighter, you know, I'm not trying to sit up here. The Urban Decay Distortion palette is kind of heavy, guys. It is kind of heavy, so you're going to be working out while you're doing it. So I'm thinking I want to do like a mixture between both palettes because I do want to test out both palettes and kind of do like a first impressions. So I'm going to grab, there's no real transition shade in the Distortion palette, so I'm going to grab Peaches and Cream as my transition shade here. I primed my eyelids, but I forgot to put some powder all over, so I'm actually going to go back into Peach Meringue on top of the primer. It basically just sets a really nice base. I am going to go over that blending shade that I just freaking added, but it's okay. It just really makes a clean, smooth base for your eyeshadows to go on and for them to blend out a tad bit more easily. Am I doing anything? This is like a translucent powder, right? Tell me this is a translucent powder. Am I disappointed? So I'm grabbing the Peaches and Cream again with the blending brush, just putting that into the crease area. Seems pretty buildable. This is definitely buildable and blends out Really nice. By the way, I have like zero idea what I'm doing with these palettes. I just started. I just kind of just dipped some in, dipped my brush in. So there's not too much kick up with this palette. What I find more is that like the kick up will happen, and instead of like sitting on top of the eyeshadow like most kick up, it goes immediately onto these black edges, which is, it's fine, I guess. Happens with all makeup. But now that I have done that, let's go in with, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna keep it pretty simple, especially since I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna pick up a color I like. I'm looking at this Just Right. Just Right? Are we talking peaches or people? That's something we've got to ask, okay? Are we talking what's just ripe? So the names of the colors in the peach palette are super cute, and so many of them say peach. I kind of wish that they all had peach in the names of the eyeshadows. This one's not blending out as nicely. It's like getting stuck down where like my eye fold is, and kind of just won't blend out of that. I'm just going to try to move on. Get the other eye going. This does have a scent to it, by the way, just like all Too Faced products or the eyeshadows do. This one doesn't smell like chocolates. It smells like peach rings. It blended out so much nicer on this eye than on this eye. Maybe I got more of that first shadow on this eye than on this eye. So maybe you really need to set your primer before you use this palette, I guess. It's not a bad idea to set your primer before using any eyeshadow, but... Okay, so at first I had it on the outer edge, outer corner only. I'm actually just going to bring it in, whatever is left on the brush, throughout the entire crease area. What's great about this duo is that I do have my mattes from the Just Pinky Mattes palette, but I also have the shimmers from the Urban Decay Distortion palette. So I do have a good blend here. This shade's also really buildable. It definitely started to blend out a little bit better on this eye, and it blended beautifully at first on this eye. So definitely make sure you set your primer before using your eyeshadows, especially with this palette. Other palettes you can kind of get away without setting the primer, but it seems like this one's something you really want to think about. So we're going to stay in the Too Faced palette, and we're going to go into Chocolate Dip down here using the same brush still. I don't know how much we just missed, so we'll find out. This formula is super nice. It's blending out really well. I've only used it with my fingers, so I've yet to use any of these shadows with my brushes, but this blended out beautifully. It's super opaque, and it's such a lovely color. With that being said, I don't think this is like a standalone palette. I think this is a fantastic palette to use in addition with other palettes, just because looking at it really closely, there's not too much you can do with it unless you're looking at like down here this row. Like I said, it's like the more neutral, more wearable ones, and then you could go in with the really bold colors to kind of just liven it up. But to be honest, I would want more of a range than just those shades for my neutrals. So it's definitely a great palette, but if you're looking for one palette to be like to travel with, this probably isn't it. You can bring it with your palette if you have the space for travel, but I definitely would recommend this palette as of right now. Like, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. So I'm just going to finish up the eyes later, so eyeliner, mascara, and the bottom lashes later. This is the next product I bought, which is Tarte Hamptons Weekender, which is a little contour palette here. Pretty cute. Look at this. It's so cute, and it opens like a little book. So the picture doesn't really match the product, which is fine. I just think Farmer's Market
We're about to lose some footage, but I just went in with chocolate dip, and then I grabbed First Defense from the Distortion palette.
That's actually the first thing I'm going to pick up, so let's just grab a little contour. Ooh! There's so much kick up. Holy Jesus. I need to shake some of this off, like, that was the most kick up I've, oh, nope, not too dark, not too light. Not too light to contour. If you're any shade, like 0.5 shades darker than me, you probably couldn't use this to contour. It blended out nicely. So there's so much not fallout, there's just a lot of kick up when you try to pick it up in the pan. Like right now I'm dabbing it in, I tried sweeping it over, it's a mess. I'm gonna pick up a smaller brush here to try to, oh, this might be too dark for my nose. Oh my god. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I really like a lighter contour over my nose, like barely any color. And I'm going to go in with the blush shade in here, which is called Summer House, right over here. And then I didn't even touch I was avoiding kick up, so I literally went, and now it looked like this. Blending okay. It kind of looks like I got punched in the face right here. In real life there's like a circle with that first initial. Very lightly go in. But I am loving this orange. Oh my god, this Urban Decay palette is giving me life, literally from one freaking shade. Contour blush situation. I'm not living for. I'm really not living for it. I'm gonna go into the highlighting shade now, Beach Getaway. I'm gonna kind of just touch it to get a feel for how pigmented it is. Lots of kick up again. Let's see here. It's a pretty highlighter. I do look a little bit glittery though. Totally glittery. I don't know how I feel about this product. I normally love Tarte, like hello. But this ain't killing it. It's not killing it. The pigment on the blush, killing it. Alright, so that's that. My last product was the Urban Decay All Nighter in Pollution Protection, guys. And my last product was the Urban Decay All Nighter, which is one of my all-time favorite setting sprays, but this time we got it in Pollution Protection. It's $2 more, and I'm kind of very confused about it still. I just kind of wanted to try it because, okay, so it says, and help protect against oxidation due to pollution. First of all, my oxidation usually happens before I even get to setting spray. And then, what else does it say? Our light as air formula acts like a protective barrier throughout the day to guard skin against whatever the day throws at it. So my boyfriend might have just paid $2 for the words pollution protection because I think this is basically exactly the same as the original All Nighter setting spray. Okay, but before I get to the setting spray, I do have to pop on some eyeliner and mascara and then finish up the lower lash line. Alright, so I'm back. I got a little lazy, so I didn't want to curl my eyelashes. What I did notice when I went to do my eyeliner is that I didn't throw on any concealer today, and my foundation did settle into the fine lines of my eyes, which doesn't usually happen because I generally do a very, 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 very thin layer around my eyes and try to do a thinner layer around my nose, but definitely thinnest with foundation around my eyes, just so I don't have too much product building up, like foundation, concealer, and that powder, just so my under eyes are so weird. They get super cakey and everything sits in the fine line, so I try to keep the least amount of product in that area. Last product here, which is the All Nighter Pollution Protection, because this definitely is one of my favorite setting sprays to set your face with, and it really just makes your makeup last, and I feel like this is what makes my makeup a little bit transfer resistant. Do you want to test this? foundation. It says it's makeup resistant, right? So I'm grabbing a paper towel here. I just smack myself in the face. I'm just smacking myself. I'm gonna do it. I'm just smacking myself. I see some. I see some. Alright, ready? This side. Ready, ready, ready. Oh my god. Nope, I see some lines. That is the entire video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy watching it. If you want to check out another video of mine, click right over here. If you want to subscribe, click up there. Other than that, I'll see you next time.